Short-run equilibrium. As explained in the previous video, I mentioned that during the short run in a monopolistic competition, there can be profit, that is abnormal profit, and abnormal loss, whereas in the long run, there will be only normal profit. So in the short run, a firm under monopolistic competition may earn supernormal profit or incur loss. But in the long run, there will be entry of new firms into the industry, and this will wipe out the supernormal profit earned by the existing firms. During the short period, the time limit is very, very less or limited. New firms cannot enter the industry, and the existing firms also cannot exit the industries. So during the short run, a firm will incur loss or it will make profit. Whereas during the long run, the entry of new firms in the industry will wipe out the supernormal profit earned by the existing firms. The entry of the new firms and the exit of loss-making firms will result only in normal profit for the firm in the industry during a long period. And the long run AR curve is more elastic or flatter because plenty of substitutes are available, and hence the firm will earn only normal profit during the long run. Yesterday, we saw the profit during the short period. During the short period, the firm makes supernormal profit. That is AR curve, MR curve, AC curve, MC curve. What is the total revenue? OMQP is the total revenue. What is the total cost? OMRS is the total cost. So revenue is greater than cost. So when you subtract the revenue from cost, you get a profit of SRQP. Let us see the loss incurred during short run in a monopolistic competition. We have the AR curve and the MR curve. So this is at differing prices, a firm can incur even loss. This is the AR curve and this is the MR curve. The difference here is the AC curve is above the AR curve. In this previous diagram, we saw that the AC curve was lying below the AR curve. So AR was more and AC was less. But in this diagram, we see that the AC curve is above the AR curve. That means the cost is more and the revenue is less. So naturally, the firm will incur a loss. So OAM is the equilibrium output, or OM is the output, and OP is the price. OP is the equilibrium price. So what is the total cost? Total cost is, let me take the pen. What is the total cost? This is the total cost. O, M, L, K is the total cost. This is the total cost. Because in this point L, we see the AC curve is cutting. So till this point, we have the cost. So when I draw a perpendicular line to the y-axis, I get the point K. So like the previous diagram, you have to draw the x-axis, you have to draw the y-axis. On the x-axis, you will mark the quantity. On the y-axis, AR, AC, MR and MC. Then you draw the AR curve. Then you draw the MR curve. AR is above and MR is below the AR curve. Then AC curve is a U-shaped curve. Then the MC curve is also a U-shaped curve, but the MC curve cuts the AC curve at AC's lowest point from below. All this for all the diagrams, for price and output diagrams, you have to follow the same principle. Then after that, you will find out the equilibrium quantity. Equilibrium is a place where MR is equal to MC. That is the first condition. Second condition is the MC curve cuts the MR curve from below. So two conditions are satisfied here. So this is equilibrium. So you draw the output through the equilibrium, go to the AR, and here AC is beyond AR. So you have to elongate this line till AC. In the previous diagram, we had the same curve, but it started from x-axis, it went through E, then it touched AC, then it touched AR, because AR was on the top and AC was already here. But in this diagram, the same thing we are doing. We are drawing the output line. It passes through E, then it goes till AR. You cannot stop here because the AC line is above the AR line. So I elongate this line till AC. So AC is here. So for 1 unit, the average cost is still here. ML is the average cost per unit. But here I'm making a output of OQ. OQ is my output. So the total cost is O, M, L and K. So this is my total cost. This area is my total cost. Okay. Next, I have to find out the total revenue. Where is the revenue curve? The revenue curve is here. So I draw a line from the revenue curve to the y-axis. So this is my total revenue. O, M, Q and P. This is my total revenue. This part is my total revenue. Okay. This is my total revenue. So which is more? The total cost is more than the total revenue. When I subtract that, I get loss. How much is my loss? P, Q, L, K is my loss. This region is my loss. Were you able to understand? So how much is my TC here in this diagram? My total cost is O, M, L, K. What is my total revenue? Total revenue is O, M, Q and P. So you see clearly that total cost is greater than TR. So the firm here makes a loss. So what is the loss? When I subtract these two, I get loss is equal to P, Q and L, K. This is my loss. Were you able to understand? So during the short period, the firm can make profit or the firm can make a loss. Next, we go on to a long period. During the long period, we have the AR curve and the MR curve. We have both the AR curve and the MR curve, the AC curve and the MC curve. So during the long period, the firm has ample time to either enter the industry or exit the industry. So here we will have only normal profit. Here we had supernormal profit. Here had profit, then we had loss. Here we have only normal profit. So AR is a flatter curve. AR is a flatter curve. Then we have the MR curve. AR, MR, AC and MC. If you want, you can put even L here, long run average cost curve and long run marginal cost curve. So on the x-axis, you have the quantity. On the y-axis, you have AR, AC, MR and MC. Then you draw the AR curve, the MR curve. The AC is the U-shaped curve and the MC curve cuts the AC curve from below at AC's minimum point. Here, you have to note that the AC curve is lying between the AR curve and the MR curve. In the previous diagram, the AC curve was lying above the AR curve. Here, AC curve is lying between the AR and the MR. So, OM is the output. Okay. And the total revenue is O, M, L, K. This is the total revenue because we have the revenue AR curve above the AC curve. AC curve is here and the AR curve is here. So naturally, this firm is making a profit. So how much is the profit? Total profit O, M, L and K is the total revenue, total revenue. What is the total cost? You have the total cost curve cutting the output line at Q. So what is the total cost? O, M, Q, P is the total cost. I repeat, the total revenue is O, M, L and Q. The total cost is O, M, Q and P. Okay. Let me take the pen. So my total revenue is OM, LK. This is my total revenue. So total cost is O, M, Q and P is my total cost. So the total revenue is greater than total cost. So what is my profit? PQLK is my profit, which happens to be a normal profit. But here, for a long run, there are two conditions for equilibrium. If you see the box item in your textbook, you can understand. So in the short period, you have only one condition, MC must be equal to MR. But in the long run, you need to satisfy two conditions. First one, MC is equal to MR, which is happening here. The second is AC is equal to AR, which is happening here. AC is equal to AR. So this is called as excess capacity. MF is called as excess capacity, or this is the wastage of the monopolistic competition. In a monopolistic competition, there is wastage. Actually, the firm can produce till OF, but he stops producing up to OM. If he produces up to OF, the price will be cheaper for the consumers. So this point is called as wastage in the monopolistic competition, or MF is called as the excess capacity. So this is about the long run equilibrium. So what did we see in our class today? We saw what is monopolistic competition, then the salient features of monopolistic competition. Then we saw the price and output determination under monopolistic competition during a short period. Short run, you will have profit, and the short run you will also have loss. But in the long run, you will have only normal profit, only one diagram for that. So in monopolistic competition, I taught 3 diagrams for you. The first 2 was for short period profit, short period loss. Then in the long period, we have only normal profit. So we have some questions to be discussed. Question number 39. Explain price and output determination under monopolistic competition with the help of diagram. If they ask this question, you must draw 3 diagrams and you have to give 3 explanations. Because in the short period, you have 2 diagrams, one for profit, the other one for loss. And for the long period, you have only normal profit. So, 39th question. Explain price and output determination under monopolistic competition with the help of diagram means you have to draw this diagram, explanation, this diagram, explanation, and this diagram, explanation. In case if they ask specifically, explain price and output determination under monopolistic competition during short period means you can stop with 2 diagrams, this diagram and this diagram. Suppose if they ask, explain price and output determination under monopolistic competition during the long period, you can stop with this diagram alone. If they don't mention short period or long period, you will have to write all the 3 explanations and draw the 3 diagrams. Okay. So this is the only question that we have in 5 marks under monopolistic competition. Then 32nd question. Mention the similarities between perfect competition and monopolistic competition. Even that you can write. Okay. So thank you, girls.